Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really quick and easy Mother's Day cake. Let's begin. So to start on the macaroons, you'll want to add your food colouring paste into your egg whites and just whisk it together until the colour is fully incorporated. So once your colour has been fully incorporated, you can then combine your icing sugar and ground almonds, sieving them a few times before you add it into your mixture. Then when it comes to adding it into the mixture, you want to sieve it in again, just to remove any lumps that may have worked their way in. So once all of the dry ingredients have been added in, you can then just fold them in using a spatula. You don't have to be too delicate at this stage as there's no air that's been worked in yet. So next, into a small saucepan, you'll want to add your sugar and your water and give it a quick mix just to incorporate the two. You can then place it on a medium-high heat until it reaches temperature. All that information will be on the blog post, which will be linked down below. So once your sugar and water mixture is on the boil, you can then add in your egg whites into a bowl and whisk them up until they reach soft peaks. Then you can steadily pour in the liquid mixture, being careful not to mix it on a high speed. If this gets on your skin, it will burn and blister. Believe me, I've been there, so be careful. And allow it to whisk until the bottom of the bowl is cool enough to touch, and once that's done, it will be shiny and glossy and will hold its shape. So now you can start adding a small amount of the meringue into your coloured almond mixture and fold it in using a metal spoon. Do this until you have no meringue mixture left, and once it's all been fully incorporated, you will notice that the colour has gone down quite drastically. This is normal, so you'll want to use a lot of colour originally. So once your mixture is done, you can start transferring it into a piping bag. You don't need to fit a nozzle as you'll only be cutting off the end anyway. So get as much of the mixture in there as you need, and then you can start to pipe it out. I put a template under my grease-proof paper as I'm not confident with getting the perfect shape when it comes to macaroons. Once you've got them all piped out, you'll then want to tap them on the surface just to remove any air, and it'll bring it to the surface. Allow these to sit for around half an hour to 45 minutes to form a skin. So into a large bowl, you'll want to add in your butter and your sugar and mix the two together on a medium-high speed until they are very well incorporated and combined. So you're not looking for the mixture to be light and fluffy, but then you can start adding your egg one at a time, beating well in between each addition. So once the egg has been added and is fully incorporated, you can then add in some yellow colouring. I'm using Lemon Yellow by Wilton, but feel free to leave this out or use your brand of choice. Then you can add in your lemon zest and give this all a good mix until it's all been worked in and is fully incorporated. And the mixture will become a very noticeable yellow colour, but if you don't want to use a colour, don't. So once you've done all of that, you can give the bowl a good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. So next you'll want to add in your flour. Add around a quarter to start with and mix that in until fully incorporated. Then add in your buttermilk and alternate between the two until you've got nothing left, starting and finishing with the flour. So once you've finished adding your ingredients, you can then give the bowl another good scraping down just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in. And the last stage is to add in the raisin agent, which is bicarbonate of soda, and to activate that you'll want to add in the white vinegar, allow it to fizzle, and then just give it all a good mix to incorporate it. So for accuracy, when dividing the batter up, I like to weigh my batter into another large bowl and divide that amount by 3 and put it into my cake tin, so each tin has the same amount of cake batter in. This just helps with consistency when it's baking, but feel free to eyeball it if you want. Once it's in the tin, just smooth it off with the back of a spoon or a cranked palette knife, whichever works best. So once the cakes are fully baked and cooled, I've levelled them off, and feel free to brush them with a lemon simple syrup. This just helps to intensify the lemon flavour. Next you'll want to get your cake stand or plate of choice and put a small amount of buttercream on the bottom just to secure the bottom cake in place. So you'll want to add that layer of cake on top, press it down just to secure it in place, then top that with some of the vanilla buttercream. Feel free to use a lemon buttercream if you wanted to, but I thought vanilla would work well, and it really does. And you'll want to repeat this for the second layer, and then you'll want to use your last cake, revert it and turn it upside down and press it down, and then you can start to give the cake its crumb coat. This is just a thin layer of icing to lock in all of the crumbs so it doesn't ruin your final layer of icing. So as always, I will leave the link to the blog post down below, where it'll have all the information, the baking times, temperatures, weights and measurements, everything you need to know, and that'll be in the description down below, along with all the other links that may be relevant for this video. Once you've got the crumb coat done, you can then place it in the fridge just until it's firmed up, roughly around half an hour to 45 minutes, an hour at best. Again, this stage is optional, but I decided to colour my buttercream 3 different shades of purple to get an ombre effect on the cake. So I went with a light, a medium and a dark purple, but feel free to work with the colours to suit you or whatever, it's totally up to you. So don't worry too much about imperfections, you'll be able to fill these in with the remaining buttercream and it will look perfect at the end, and even if it doesn't, it all merges together and will taste great anyway. So whatever colour is on the top section of your cake, you'll want to also do on the very top of the cake. So then I decided to pipe rosettes on top of my cake, and I had just plain vanilla and some purple vanilla buttercream, but feel free again to work with your colours or flavours, whatever. So if you want to make a white chocolate drip like I have, I'll show you how. I realise I've already piped my rosette, so it'll be hard for me to put it on. If you're going to do it, make sure you do it right and not like me, arse backwards. But once you've got your cream, put it on the heat until it's reached a boil, pour it over your chocolate and allow it to sit for about a minute, and then you can give it a good stir, and you'll notice that it goes from being 2 different ingredients to becoming one. It will be smooth, but it will also be a yellowish tint to it. This is normal with white chocolate ganache. And you can feel free to colour the chocolate ganache if you wanted to, but that's optional again. Again, if you do intend to use this, make sure you pipe it on before your rosettes, otherwise it looks a bit of a mess. But again, it's not completely needed on there, I just thought it would add a bit of a look, and it does add some flavour which the cake hasn't got, and lemon and white chocolate work well, so why not? I just fill the macaroons with some of the buttercream and place them on top of the rosettes. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me. I'll be back again next week with another video. In the meanwhile, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below, or message me on one of my social medias. All the links you will need will be in the description of the video, so go and check it out if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I do post on Instagram stories when I'm baking or if I'm doing something bacon related, so go and check that out if you're interested. Don't forget to check the blog post out, as that will be important to make it. And that's all for this week. I'll catch you next week. Bye guys.